Hi there. We are on day 200 of our Through the New Testament in 1 year. Wow, 200. So today we are finishing the book of Acts 21, chapter 21 of Acts. All right. And Paul and his entourage just arrived in Jerusalem where everybody told him not to go. Okay. And the brothers received him gladly. Okay. And we're picking it up from there. On the following day, Paul went with us to James, and all the elders were present. After greeting him, he related one by one the things that God had done among the Gentiles through his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified God, and they said to him, "You see, brother, how many thousands there are among the Jews of those who have believed. They are all zealots for the law, and they have been told about you, that you teach all the Jews who are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, telling them not to circumcise their children or walk according to our customs. What then is to be done? They will certainly hear that you have come. Do therefore what we tell you. We have 4 men who are now under a vow. Take these men and purify yourself along with them, and pay their expenses so that they may shave their heads. Thus all will know that there is nothing in what they have been told about you, but that you yourself also live in observance of the law. But as for the Gentiles who have believed, we have sent a letter with our judgment that they should abstain from what has been sacrificed to idols, and from blood, and from what has been strangled, and from sexual immorality." Then Paul took the men, and the next day he purified himself along with them, and went to the temple, giving notice when the days of purification would be fulfilled, and the offering presented for each one of them. Right. Paul arrested in the temple. Well, that didn't last long, did it? When the 7 days were almost complete, the Jews from Asia, seeing him in the temple, stirred up the whole crowd and laid hands on him, crying out, "Men of Israel, this is a man who is teaching everyone everywhere against the people and the law and this place. Moreover, he even brought Greeks into the temple and has defiled this holy place." For they had previously seen Trophimus and the Ephesian with him in the city, and they supposed that Paul had brought him into the temple. Right. Then all the city was stirred up, and the people ran together. They seized Paul and dragged him out of the temple. And once the gates were shut, and as they were seeking to kill him, word came to the tribune of the cohort that all Jerusalem was in confusion. He at once took soldiers and centurions and ran down to them, and when they saw the tribune and the soldiers, they stopped beating Paul. Then the tribune came up and arrested him and ordered him to be bound with 2 chains. He inquired who he was and what he had done. Some in the crowd were shouting one thing, some another. And as he could not learn the facts because of the uproar, he ordered him to be brought into the barracks. And when he came to the steps, he was actually carried by the soldiers because of the violence of the crowd, for the mob of the people were crying out, "Away with him." Right. Man. He knew this was going to happen, right? As Paul was about to be brought into the barracks, he said to the tribune, "May I say something to you?" And he said, "Do you know Greek? Are you not the Egyptian, then, who recently stirred up a revolt and led 4,000 men and the assassins out of the wilderness?" Paul replied, "I am a Jew from Tarsus in Cilicia, a citizen of no obscure city. I beg you to permit me to speak to the people." And when he had given him permission, Paul, standing on the steps, motioned with his hand to the people, and there was a great hush. He addressed them in the Hebrew language, saying, and it's going to cut us off there, right? Right. So he's about to speak to the crowd, right? And so Acts 22 will be a really good chapter, okay? "Brothers and fathers, hear the defense that I now make before you." And when they heard he was addressing them in the Hebrew language, they became even more quiet, right? "I am a Jew, born in Tarsus in Cilicia, but brought up in this city, educated at the feet of Gamaliel, according to the strict manner of the law of our fathers, being zealous for God, and as all of you are this day." So we won't get into that. We'll be reading the whole thing, right? So there you go. That is the rest of Acts 21. Okay. Paul's in trouble, but we knew he would be. All right. They said he would be. They tried to warn him not to, but all right. He's going to go where God tells him to go. So there you have it. Catch up on any may miss. These are nice short videos, so they're easy to catch up on. And join us tomorrow, and we'll hear what Paul has to say, all right? See you next time.